Good Wednesday evening, everyone. We are live. We have more severe weather to talk about. We had dangerous severe weather last week over parts of Oklahoma, into Kansas, Texas, all the way up to Nebraska, Iowa. Some of the same areas uh, that got hit pretty hard last week are already getting hit this week, even yesterday. So it's going to continue into today and then throughout the rest of the week. More flooding is possible. There's flash flood watches out for parts of the area. There's already tornado watches out for parts of Kansas, Oklahoma, into parts of Texas. This will start spreading east as we go throughout the night. And there's already been tornado warnings and observed tornadoes out there across parts of the eastern Texas panhandle this evening. All right, if you're just now joining us, click that thumbs up button, comment where you're from, share this with your friends and family, and gotta get the word out there as well. Now, preview for next week in the long range. Just posted this over in the supporter hub as well. It is going to get absolutely hot as we get into mid next week. We're probably talking about heat indexes, starting to talk about those heat indexes, the real feel approaching 100 to 105 in certain spots of the area, especially along the Gulf Coast. So if you are a supporter and want to support us, come on over. There'll be a link in comments. You can support the work we do for you. All right, let's get into the severe weather aspect for the next few days. Alrighty, as always, we're going to start out with the national hazards map. As you can see, there is some flood watches out for parts of Texas, southeastern Texas, in through parts of western Louisiana, uh, and then parts of the Red River here on either side, basically in Texas, Oklahoma. These yellow areas of Kansas and into Oklahoma into Texas. These are these are tornado watches that are already issued, and severe weather watches or severe weather watch out here towards western Texas. We already have severe thunderstorm warnings that's been popping up here and there across part just south of Dallas over the past hour or so. And of course, this color out here towards New Mexico, red flag warnings, do not burn. Very high winds out there, going to spread fires pretty quickly if anything starts. And then all the way up here towards Montana, we have winter weather advisories, winter storm warnings up that way. All right, as we get into the rest of this evening through tonight, enhanced risk of severe thunderstorms. This evening in through overnight, south central Kansas into western Oklahoma, West Texas. The greatest threat is large to very large damaging hail, probably baseball size or larger. Severe thunderstorm gusts, probably 60, 70 plus miles per hour, and a few tornadoes will be possible in these areas as well. So, enhanced risk: Abilene, Texas, St. Angelo, Big Spring, Altus, Oklahoma, up to Brownwood, Texas. Slight risk: Houston, Texas, San Antonio, Dallas, Austin, Fort Worth. About 22 million people are under a slight risk for the rest of today and through tonight. All right, let's go into the risk real quick. All righty, tornado risk for the rest of the night. If you've been following me for a while, there's no hatched areas, but there, even last night, there was no hatched areas, and there was a very, very, very strong tornado in southwestern parts of Oklahoma. There was some gate-to-gate shear approaching, I think it was way over 200 plus miles an hour, but it was over very rural areas of southeastern Oklahoma. So a major tornado can develop even if the Storm Prediction Center does not have those hatched areas. So you need to stay weather aware regardless. So in the green, 2 to 4% probability of a tornado within 25 miles at any given point. Then mostly in these enhanced areas, risk areas of Texas into western Oklahoma into parts of Kansas here, 5 to 9% probability of a tornado within 25 miles of any given point. All right, we go into the wind outlook here. The hatched area, significant wind possibilities for the rest of this evening and through tonight. Probably talking 70 to 80 mile per hour winds across this area in the hatched areas. And then severe hail, hatched areas, bigger than hen eggs, 2 inches in diameter, possibly up to baseball size or maybe even larger across parts of this area in the hatch. All right, now we focus going into Thursday. This is May 2nd. Slight risk of severe thunderstorms across southwest Oklahoma into northwest Texas. Scattered strong to severe storms will be possible on Thursday from parts of the upper Mississippi Valley into the southern plains. There is some tornado risk for tomorrow. It is pretty slim, but it's non-zero, 2 to 4% probability here of a tornado within 25 miles at any given point. Southwest Arkansas, most Louisiana, into northern, northeastern Texas, central, eastern Oklahoma, and kind of going up into parts of Iowa into Illinois for tomorrow. So 2 to 4% risk or probability of a tornado within 25 miles at any given point. Some wind, 60 mile per hour winds possible. Especially these yellow shades here. This is for tomorrow. And another severe hail day in excess of 2 inches in diameter. This is anything 2 inches in diameter or higher is going to be pretty destructive hail. So we need to pay attention for that for tomorrow. And then as we get into Friday, more severe weather possibilities across Nebraska into Kansas, northern Oklahoma. This is just a marginal risk right now. It's a day 3 outlook, but there will be changes. I am assuming that. I'm telling you, there is not a break in the severe weather. We're getting into the very height of the spring season here. And this is for Monday, May 6th. And we already have a slight risk of severe weather already out for parts of Nebraska, southeastern Nebraska, central eastern Kansas, central to eastern Oklahoma, and far northern Texas, right on the Red River there. So continuous chances of severe weather for the next 5 to 6 days across the area here. All right, let's get into future radar real quick. All right, here we go. This is basically over the next 18 hours. This is the latest H triple R. Now, do not take this as gospel because the models have been horrible lately in forecasting rainfall totals, where the storms are going to be. I feel like we're going backwards in time here with some of these models. I mean, we're living in 2024 now, but some of these models, I feel like they're back from the early 90s. So I'll be honest with you, around northern Arkansas today, there was really not really any models picking up on any thunderstorm activity for today as we went into last night. Then all of a sudden, this morning, there's an outflow boundary from these storms that came through Oklahoma last night, came through parts of Arkansas, and a big complex or a big cluster of storms developed over northern Arkansas and this afternoon, and then started trekking up towards St. Louis as we went into this evening. So big storms starting to develop out here towards Texas, like I said. And there's been bigger storms back here into parts of Oklahoma, into Kansas. So this model is not filling this in very well already across this area. And it basically has nothing through 9 o'clock. And there's already been tornado warnings up this way and severe thunderstorm warnings. So, like I said, you can't take this for gospel, but it gives you kind of an idea what could happen. So this basically has the storms dying out across parts of Oklahoma and Texas. Not sure if that's going to be the case. And then big time complex of storms coming through just south of Dallas into the Houston area as we get into very early tomorrow morning. This is 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Another complex of storms coming out of Nebraska through parts of Kansas. This looks like if this would happen, it could be a nasty Boeing segments, which would basically shows us that there could be some very damaging straight line winds coming out of this. So this is 4 o'clock tomorrow morning, on Thursday morning. Very heavy rains around Houston, possibilities starting to get into Louisiana, and then just some clustering of storms here and there across Texas into southern Oklahoma. Still very heavy rain possibilities up here towards Iowa into eastern Nebraska. This is 5 o'clock. Here's 6 o'clock in the morning. More this complex of storms is heading into Louisiana, and this is 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. Here's 11 o'clock in the morning. Ongoing heavy rain even around the Houston area. I-10 is going to be a dang mess from Houston all the way to just before New Orleans here. Then, like I said, big line of storms coming through, possibility through parts of Iowa, in through parts of Missouri, through the Kansas City area, and then getting into southeastern parts of Kansas. Now, what models don't really pick up on here, there's going to be an outflow boundary that kind of pushes out from this. So we need to watch a few of these areas here, especially if these storms actually evolve this way. We're going to have to watch for some outflow boundaries, especially basically through here, all the way through this area of for tomorrow. So if this actually happens this way, there's going to be outflow boundary kind of push out from this complex here, and then over here as well, kind of pushing northeast. So we need to watch this area for tomorrow. The models ain't going to really pick up on it very well, but something like that kind of happened today across northern Arkansas into parts of southeastern Missouri that didn't pick up on yesterday. So this is the area probably to watch tomorrow afternoon for additional development if all this actually happens. So need to stay weather aware for sure. Okay. All right. So let's see what uh, Weather Prediction Center has to say about rainfall. All right. This is what the Weather Prediction Center thinks how much rain is going to fall in the next 7 days. With these darker colors, we're talking probably 2 to 4 inches easily across parts of Louisiana into Texas, especially as these clusters of storms come through. um, Parts of Arkansas into Oklahoma, then up towards southeastern Iowa and western Missouri, and maybe 2 to 4 inches of rain in the next 7 days. All right, this is from the Climate Prediction Center. I showed this to supporters a few days ago, but you can see the excessive heat possibilities as we go into next week, mid next week to late next week. We have a slight to moderate risk of excessive heat. Like I said, some of these heat indexes could get out of hand next week, and there might be heat advisories out next week. So don't be shocked at that. Hopefully everybody's gotten their air conditioner checked out, kind of tuned up before the season, um, because the heat and humidity is going to really rev up middle to late next week with excessive heat possibilities, especially from Texas all the way along the Gulf Coast in through parts of Florida into the southeast into South Carolina as of right now. So there's just a sneak peek at next week. We'll have more on that over in the supporter hub. Thank you so much for watching. Uh, Please stay safe out there. Stay weather aware. We'll have another update in the morning on the severe weather. Stay safe out there. Like I said, have a way to get warnings.